Hello, my friends. Today we will be exploring Google AI Studio together. I've been exploring Google AI Studio myself for the past 2 months, and I'm loving what I'm seeing. That's why I'm so excited to create this video for you, so that you can benefit from the power of Google AI Studio. So in this video, we will not be building anything yet. We'll just be looking around. I want to take you on a tour of Google AI Studio Playground. We'll be clicking things around and then understanding what are the different tools and settings. Okay, think of it like walking into an AI workshop and seeing what are the different tools available, so that when I'm ready to build, I know where each tool is sitting, and I can build the best possible AI website or best possible AI app. Okay, the first thing is, how do we get to the AI Studio Playground? Go and type it into the URL aistudio.google.com, or you can Google for it, and then you have to click on the button Playground. Here is where the magic happens. This is the big box, the magic box, as I call it. Here you can ask your questions. You can ask it to explain you something. You can ask it to summarize something. You can ask for legal advice, business advice. You can create images based on your prompt, or you can ask it for advice on your next YouTube video. So the possibilities are endless. Okay, the most important is just you put your idea down. Also, very important is make sure to use this plus button. This is how you can attach your Google Drive files. You can upload a file from your desktop. You can take a photo, or you can generate some sample media. You can use sample media. So I take this Google Drive, take this PDF document, boom, I can insert it into the prompt. This is amazing, right? I can ask it, hey, summarize me this big document into 3 sentences. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Although we ask the same question, I can control the type of answer I get. Okay, and it happens through this first setting. I can choose which model to use for my answer. So there are a lot of different models. Okay, you might be confused which one to use. You don't see this setting in Google Gemini out of the box, okay, because it picks it for you. Okay? But because we're an AI studio, we have this additional power. We can choose which one to use. To help you choose the right model, you can use the description here. It tells you that Gemini 3 Pro Preview is our most intelligent model. You can see the price for a million tokens. It's $2 for input and output. And then you can see the knowledge cutoff date. And here you can see the different prices. So this one is $2 for a million tokens. This one is 30 cents. This one is 1.25. You can see the knowledge cutoff is different for them. Like this one is January 2025. This one is June 2025. This one is January again. Okay, so that's how you can compare. And so this is your brain. For your questions, to process your document, to get your answer, which brain do you want to use? Do you want to use the most powerful brain? Okay. Or do you want to use uh, do you want a quick answer? All right. So this one, although very powerful, it can take a while to get you the answer. Okay. It'll get you deep research answer, but you also always need a deep research answer. That's why you might want to use the Flash. It's boom, boom, very quick. Maybe this is an AI model you're building for your chatbot, for your customer support. And for customer support, you need quick, precise answers. So this one can be good for you. Or if you want the model for generating images, then you definitely will go to Nano Banana Pro. So look around, see which one is most appropriate for you. Is it based on the image, the depth of the research, or the speed? Which one is most important for you? Okay, if it's speed, go to Flash. If it's depth, if you're creating an AI web app uh, that is for deep research, for professors, for scientists, then go with Gemini Pro. Okay, so we choose a brain, and next setting is system instructions. System instructions is what kind of tone do you want this model to have for you? Do you want it to be very formal, or do you want it to use like old English? Maybe you're building a chat bot for a very old English hotel, and you want it to use old English archaic words. So you can. This is how here you can create instructions. Okay, you can say old English. Use old English language, and now this is the language it'll use for instructions. Or you can tell it, "Hey, you are the best customer support agent for our AI courses. Yeah. Have very deep answers. Explain to the potential students the power of AI in very basic language because they're total new people. They don't know anything about AI, so use very basic language. So that's what system instructions controls. Okay, it controls the persona. Okay, next is this is the API key we can use because using these models is very expensive, very power intensive. So you have to connect your API key right here. Okay, next setting is temperature. Here you have settings going from 0 till 2. When you have a low temperature, it answers in a very serious manner. Okay, very precise answers, very controlled answers. There is no room for creativity. 100% like like a robot. But when you go high, it's very creative. It can be unpredictable, okay? But it's very creative, very playful. So your answers will be very different, but they will be very creative. So you have to see for your application which one is appropriate. For your scientific application, probably you want very serious, very precise answers. But if you're creating application that is like creative studio, creative agency, then you want to go for a high temperature. The next setting is not in the order, but it makes more sense to talk about it right now. It's the top P. This is the how creative it is in the variety of your answer. Okay, uh, so temperature controls creativity, but the depth, how creative the different voices, choices of words it uses is controlled by top P. Okay, so this temperature very high can be very creative, but if you put top P, it uses very few words to be creative. Okay, the probability of different voices, different options is very low. But if you put top P, then it's very creative and becomes very unpredictable creativity. Okay, so that's how you control the spectrum of creativity. So the easy way to remember is top P decides how many flavors are on the menu, and temperature decides how crazy the flavor mix can be. All right, next is thinking level. Thinking level is how deep do you want your answers to be? Do you want quick responses, or do you want high? So although you can pick Gemini Pro preview, you can take low thinking level. Depth of thinking can be low. Okay, next is very important is grounding with Google search. So you saw that there is a cutoff date, right, for this one. Gemini Pro preview is cut off on January 2025. So maybe you want to use this model, but you want it to have access to more recent data. So you can enable it using grounding with Google's research. So it'll supplement its findings with Google search. So you can ask it, what are today's latest global events? It'll Google for it and tell you what today's November 30 latest events are. So I love this setting. The next setting is structured outputs. This settings means AI gives you a fixed, organized format instead of writing freely. Okay, so we're basically telling the AI, don't write a paragraph, just fill out this template, stick to the structure. Okay, if you click edit, and this is where you can put in the structure that you want the answers to be in. See, this is very good for code. Okay, you can tell you here the fields, here's the structure, here's the shape of the answer. Give me the answers, filling out this template. The next setting is code execution. So this means that if you put in the code here, AI can actually run it. Okay, not only talk about it, but it can run it and see what the bug is or how you can enhance the code. So this is very powerful. It's amazing, right? That if you put in a code, it will actually run it, it will process it, and see what it comes with. My friend, now next setting is very interesting. Function calling. This is where you enable AI not only to give you answers, but also go out and do what you wanted to do. Book an appointment, get your ticket to New York from Washington, D.C., get your hotel in Washington, D.C., get your taxi in Washington, D.C. You can do all these things by enable function calling. This is very powerful. I will make sure to explore this more in my next video. But for now, know that in Google AI Studio, you can enable it. Next setting is URL context. So this is basically you give it URLs where it will derive the answers mainly from. So if you create a chatbot for a website, you can say, hey, make sure to analyze the contents of this website and get the answers from there. Okay, so it gives it URL context for the answers. And here, finally, are safety settings. This is you can control how much safety to have in the chatbot. Right now, there is we turn off harassment, hate, sexual explicit, dangerous content. Okay, so you can, if you want, you can make it all max. Block harassment, block hate, block sexual explicit, etc. By default, all of these are off. Next, you can do a stop sequence. So this one is a bit difficult to explain, but basically, it's saying that in the answer, when you get to a certain point, stop. Probably more relevant for code. If you know when you want the code to stop, when it reaches a certain method or symbol, you can tell it to stop so that it doesn't generate your extra code. Okay, and here you can control the maximum number of tokens that can be used to process answers. So you can set a limit so that it doesn't run away, eat up all your tokens. I think this is very interesting, right? So you can control the costs. Okay, so basically, there's a lot of settings you can see. There's a lot of things you can control to get the precise answer you want. Okay, very powerful. You can control temperature. You can control the model, system instructions. Um, you can structure the output, function. There's a lot of things you can control. And once you fine tune everything, you know what you want, and you're getting the results you want. You can click get code, and in this code, it has all the settings you have set. For example, here you can see the temperature, you can see the thinking level. Here's the model. Here you put in your API key. If you don't like it in Python, you want it in Java. Here it is. So it makes it very easy for you. Okay, so that's how you can take the code and put it in your website, and boom, all the instructions, all the settings are there. In order to access Gemini, you need API keys. Okay, for your web application to access the power, you have the settings. Now you need to access the Gemini. That's how you get the API keys. Okay, you can go here, create API key. You can say it for your website, car parts support website. You indicate the project is for, boom, you get an API key, and that's the key that is used to access Gemini. My friends, this was a walkthrough of Google AI Studio Playground. It's very powerful. I highly recommend you go in right now and test it out for yourself. It's very powerful, very fun.